you being here in the studio.
Yeah, it's going to be good to have him actually out of Chicago and in Middle Tennessee, where the studios are located. But so far, so good. Other than maybe something with the DMV in Tennessee, we're going to have to get that story tomorrow.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to it. I'll be listening.
Coming up here this hour, Erskin and I are talking to Dawn Barton. She's written a book called Laughing Through the Ugly Cry, and how you really can find unstoppable joy even through really hard, bad stuff. And Dawn has been through it. We're going to get her story and how God has redeemed those moments and taught her joy. That's coming up here in just a couple of moments. Moody Radio. Hey, connect with us on Facebook. It is Dawn and Steve in the morning.
Okay.
Hey, girl.
So for the live audience, that's what
Hang
you
on.
got to see. Moody Radio.
Just one sec. Okay. Can you hear me?
We got a guest that's on.
Nope. I mean, we can hear you in studio, so that's good. I think it's because with this plugged into your computer, but as long as we can hear you over the air, we're totally good. I'm watching Mark. Oh, I know why. Because Stupid has her. I muted my speaker. That'd be why. Yeah. Okay.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
All is well. Hey, thanks so much. I want to introduce you to Erskin. Erskin is co-hosting with us this morning.
Hey, what's going on? I'm looking forward to laughing this morning because some of your quips and some of the things that you get into in your book are fantastic.
Thanks so much. I'm excited to be here with you guys and actually know what time I'm coming on with you.
I know, and I'm so sorry that I tried to mess that up yesterday, but at least we talked about it early, right?
Yeah, exactly. No, you didn't at all. I could not believe they would not answer me on what time I was supposed to go on this morning. So I'm so sorry about that.
A little odd. No worries at all. And actually, what ended up happening is, so the guest that we have regularly every other Wednesday, he had texted and he said, "Hey, it's been a really interesting day. I've had a flat tire, blah blah blah." So as I was working through all those details with you and Christina, all of a sudden I thought, maybe I'll just ask him if he would like to, let tomorrow go. And he said, "I am so glad you asked." So it worked out perfectly. I just, yeah, I don't know why I do that. Sometimes I forget to put him on the calendar recurring. It's only been 10 years. Okay. So yeah, this is why I was so upset with myself.
I do this. If it is not on a calendar with 5 alerts, it is not happening.
That's right.
Because I can have an alert 10 minutes before, and then I'm like, oh, totally forgot. I don't know if that was something that hit with 50 years old or.
A world full of darkness. Yeah, we need a light. With all of the hurting, there's no room to fight. These hands are for serving. Our love needs to move. Let's reach to each other. Oh, there's no time to lose. Only love is the answer to driving out hate. Yeah, love's gonna work when we give it away.
Co-hosting, and right now we have a guest with us, Dawn Barton. Dawn has written Laughing Through the Ugly Cry and Finding Unstoppable Joy.
So good to have you on this morning, and I'm looking forward to hearing your explanation of some of these stories that are in this book.
Oh, for sure. You have actually been through some pretty hard stuff. Can you hit the highlights of some of these difficult things? Because I think sometimes when we think about laughing and joy, we think, oh, you probably haven't experienced all that much. Not true.
and still smiling and still radiating the love of Christ. So you got to have talk to us about that.
Yeah, and some of those joy factors that met you in those pain moments. Let's go back because I think that one of the first stories you tell about laughing through the ugly cry is when you did lose your child, and just the sobs that came, and understandably so. That is a pivotal, life-changing moment when you lose a child. And how did the Lord meet you in those moments of sobs?
Mm. And there you go. And that's one of the things that I highlighted in the book was you talking about the fact that God can take it, as though God were not big enough to be able to withstand our anger or our frustration. And you kind of put that on God. And I looked at that and I thought, that's a great quote.
Well, talking to the Lord intimately, it kind of helps us look at the pain that we're experiencing and open that up, because a lot of times if we've been in that pain world for a while, it becomes so familiar. We don't like it, but it's familiar. And it's kept us company for so many years. We don't know how to step outside of that. And that's certainly a journey that you've been on, Dawn. Dawn Barton is with us, and we're talking about her book. It's called Laughing Through the Ugly Cry, Finding Unstoppable Joy. And there is so much more to this story, and humor as well. Your joy, actually, I've seen people with joy that is actually peace, right? It manifests itself in peace. But there's also joy that comes with those belly laughs. And you would argue that we just got to have both. So when we come back, we'll continue to talk about the hard things, yes, but also the redemptive line that God has for us this side of eternity. Dawn Barton with us, connecting with her on Facebook. You can do that at Dawn and Steve in the morning. Also, though, you can 800-555-7898 and ask for the link. We'll send it that way. Sorry, I cannot see the clock at all. So I'm like flying blind. Hey, sorry, I couldn't see the clock, so I
It's a
kept
team. We got
going.
each other.
I can't
Okay.
tell what's going on.
I saw him doing that and I was like, oh gosh, what did I do? What did I do?
No, so we forgot to tell you that he'll give us the 1 minute and he'll give us 30 seconds. And then
Okay.
we know we have to wrap up. And I just need a few seconds left to get us out of it and into the
Yeah.
break. Um,
I'm sorry.
but no, I have the computer. So to connect on Zoom, Erskine and I have pulled our mics over to the middle so that we can both see and be seen. But it takes the laptop and blocks my clock. So I have an internal clock, but it's not perfect.
That's good.
It's not
Do you
perfect.
know the person at my PR agency, Christina? Because she
Yes.
raved about you.
I
Yeah.
adore her.
She's so sweet.
You know Christina. You met
Bartow?
Christina. Christina Bostic.
Bostic, yeah,
Yeah,
Bostic.
yeah.
Yeah. How do you know her?
That's her publicist.
She's,
Oh, really?
Yeah. Well, we actually just finished with them. The HarperCollins, Thomas Nelson hired them through the end of June. And
Okay.
so this was something that kind of came after. But
Okay.
she's so sweet.
Oh, she's fabulous.
Small world.
Yeah, isn't that something?
Yeah, she's great. She was on a show with us one time before when we were kind of doing a town hall style
Yeah.
broadcast. Yeah, she's great.
Yeah, so of
Yeah,
all the
yeah.
publicists, Erskine has met Christina.
That might be the only publicist I've met.
Yeah, trying to get a book out in the middle of a pandemic has just been super fun.
No doubt. Yeah.
But it's God's perfect timing, right?
So have all of your interviews and things like that been via Zoom or what does that look like? You can't get out, can you? To bookstores?
No, the majority is Zoom.
Okay.
Zoom, Skype. But Zoom has a filter on it, so I always love the Zoom. Did you?
I did not know that.
Right. You didn't?
Uh-uh.
It's a setting. You can set it, and there's a filter on Zoom.
I do think somebody told me that, and I'm like, do not go track that down. Do not. I won't allow myself because I'm already, I do Marco Polo with a few friends, and I'm already going, oh my word. I fight myself to not give all my disclaimers when I first get on Marco Polo.
I was on Marco Polo yesterday with a friend, and I was kind of laying down. I was like, okay, I'm going to take my nap, and we're going to go to the kitchen now. Because that's apparently a whole different game now. Whatever this is, I'm gonna take this and we're gonna go over here.
Yep.
Like,
Oh yeah.
The camera angles are funny.
They're
these days,
miserable. They're miserable.
I got to do the Huckabee show. I got to come in town because you're in Nashville, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I got to go on the Huckabee show, and I was really thrown off on how different you look on camera.
Yeah.
It adds like 87,000 pounds.
Don't
I'm gonna
look.
tell ya.
Right. You just can't look. It's true. So when was that? Because it seems like maybe Christina was trying to get you in studio, but I don't remember what happened. If I was out, were you
I
just,
don't know.
was it kind of, you flew in and you flew out? Is that the thing?
I did. I flew
Okay.
in and flew out. And I'm in Pensacola, but I'm married to a Southwest airline pilot, so I fly free.
Nice.
So I tell her, anytime you want me to go to Nashville or something, just tell me. I'm on a flight. Yeah.
Come on.
So if you ever
Is
want
she-
somebody, I
Come
know,
on.
like sign me up, sister.
Come
I'm
on.
there.
Okay.
So is she still flying around and like doing all of her engagements and stuff?
Well, that's what,
No,
Okay.
it hasn't been possible.
only because that I don't want to be the reason for a gathering.
Yeah.
I want to go, but I don't want to be somebody gets sick and then Don Barton held this. I just don't want to be the catalyst for anyone getting sick.
Yeah, we've
We've
been
been having-
discussing that all morning.
That's
as
been an
to
all morning discussion.
How do you look at the opportunities to share the gospel and be in person with people and not be fearful, but be mindful and operate with wisdom? And then there's the whole big crowd thing. So yeah, this has been a topic of discussion all morning as
If you want it from my point of view, I want to go out and hug all the people. And I don't mean that naively, but I think we so desperately need it in our world today. And I guess I've been through enough in my life that I trust God, and just for his protection. And I'm not naive, but, I think we need some hugs right now.
Hey, Don, I'll give you a quick story. I was at a restaurant in Knoxville the other day, and I was giving a hug to a couple of guys that were with me. And this lady, I've never met her before. She walks up to us and she's like, "Hey, are you guys giving hugs today? Because I need a hug."
oh
And I'm thinking,
See?
wow.
and so all three of us
Telling
gave her a
you.
hug, and she wanted to talk to us. And I was just like, man, there are so many people who are lonely out there and just need a hug.
That
Now,
makes
my
me
poor
sad.
UPS guy comes and I'm like, "Hey, how are you? What are you doing? How's your wife? Yeah, how's the family? Really? You don't have to stay, visit."
Yeah.
That's sad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my. Okay, we've got 30 seconds. We're coming back your way. So I'll mute here and
All right,
here.
30 seconds, people. You should be listening to Moody Radio. Why are you looking at only this? You should be Moody Radio and this.
Okay,
It's the guest.
there you go. It's the greatest cover. Oh, I need to put that on Facebook. I need to put this on Facebook. I'm a little
Take a
slow.
picture of it.
No, I'll pull the link and just put the
Okay.
link up there. Yeah. Moody Radio, 16 minutes after the hour, and I am yours. It is Casting Crowns. It's Dawn and Steve in the morning, but Steve looks a lot like Erskin and Vitarte today.
Boom.
Until tomorrow, then Steve's going to look like Steve again.
Shorter, dark Steve.
Dark Steve. Erskin is guest co-hosting with us today. Dawn Barton is joining us as a guest as well. We're looking at her book, Laughing Through the Ugly Cry, Finding Unstoppable Joy. And Dawn, just mentioning a few of the really tough times that you've been through, and God showing you how to find joy and unstoppable. How has that become such an important message that you've written a book about it?
Yeah, I wanted to jump in because you've got a quote, I think, on page 88 that's love people where they are, even when your world is falling apart. And with everything that you've gone through, I feel like there's this idolatry that happens in our culture of us wanting to put forward Christians who have everything together, their marriages are together, their families are together. And then when that's not the picture that's put forward, is God still in the process of that? I think in this book, you sort of explode the myth of that and say God is doing his best work sometimes when people are going through chaos in their lives. And I found this quote on page 88. Maybe talk to us about what that's done in your life to kind of explode that myth of perfection as the model of Christianity. Mm.
That is a powerful statement right there, to give grace to somebody, especially when you don't know what's going on in their lives, even when you do, to be able to how do we not make it about us? Because somehow we always manage to turn it around and think, well, you didn't treat me this way, and so I'm not going to be there for you. That is just not what God puts into place for us. We're looking at the book, and it's called Laughing Through the Ugly Cry and Finding Unstoppable Joy with Don Barton. And we've got a couple minutes left in this segment, Don. And when you talk about the fight, the diagnosis, the disease, and you're considering your friends and giving them grace, speak to somebody right now that's having a hard time giving that friend grace that was there every day until they got sick and then they disappeared. But they're going to want to come back when this season comes to a point where they can re-enter. How are we to die to self and allow that friend to come back? Right? Well, I would also ask the question then, when somebody can see a need and want to step in, but maybe they're not super familiar with the family, what was your experience? How can somebody step into that? Mhm. Okay.
Be yourself and bring ice cream. Can we quote that?
That's for the next book, isn't it? Yeah, I love it. Laughing through the ugly cry, finding unstoppable joy. And of course, we know God tells us that joy is just a part of his spirit. It's a fruit of having his spirit at work in our lives. But Don Barton says, you know what? God can handle it when we're angry. It's what we do in that season as we either walk away from the Lord, but knowing he doesn't, and how we allow him to continue to work in those hard and hurting places. We'll come back and talk more about that with Don. Connect with us on Facebook, Don and Steve in the morning. I got lost there for a minute, but I'm back. Here's to get the question out. I was like, okay. And so many times people haven't taught how to minister. Yeah, see, I think that's real to people.
I was trying to think what else is. I talk in the book about the you get to, and I think that plays in a lot too. It came from me not being able to take my child to school. I was so sick that I couldn't take her to school, and I remember complaining about taking her to school, and then you realizing that I got to take her to school, the thing you complain about all the time. And now in the season of the virus and all that, we get to stay home with family. We get to do the things that we hope to. Just, are you going to embrace it and see it as a gift, or are you going to take the mindset that, like you haven't complained about it?
I love it. I love it. There was a time in my family that I kept thinking, I have superpowers. See if you have the same superpower. My superpower is I'm the only one that can see the dryer sheets when they hit the floor and lay there for days on end. It is like supernatural that 1 out of 5 people can see these dryer sheets. And so I finally decided that if it was my superpower alone, I needed to be the one to pick them up, even if I wasn't the one that dropped them, because it is, after all, my superpower. And I also have historically been the only one that knows how to put toilet paper back on the toilet paper ring, until that superpower got shared a little bit. So now others, but I remember being like a little resentful. Come on, people, it's just toilet paper. Put it back on the holder. And then the Lord was like, this is a big deal. Why? Can you not just like pray for the people that will be in the bathroom and put that? And I'm not trying to super spiritualize it. I just mean there was an attitude.
They played this song already
trust.
this morning.
I mean,
check it out.
Switch that I needed to make so that I didn't get bitter about it. So now I just laugh about it and talk about my superpowers.
And that is the best mindset thing I've ever heard. That is the superpower. I have the superpower with the dirty dishes, apparently.
See? It's amazing that every person in the family usually has a superpower.
I'm a self-made man with my well-laid plans. and I was taught to do it on my own. But I've tried and failed, and I've been derailed. From dust you picked me up, and now I know. Victory is here. It overwhelms my worn and weary soul. Nothing I could earn, what I don't deserve. 'Cause love is overcome and made me whole. Oh, grace made the first move. Grace made the first move. Nothing in my hands I bring, simply to the cross I cling. It all. Grace made the first move. Grace, grace, God's grace, grace that will pardon and cleanse within. Grace, grace, God's grace, grace that is greater than all our sin. Grace made the first move. Oh, grace made the first move. Oh, grace made the first move. Oh, grace made the first move. Nothing in my hands I bring, simply to the cross I cling. And oh, grace made the first move. Grace made the first move. Oh, grace made the first move. Oh.
For Jesus. I think that's okay.
Kind of hard to be mad.
But look where I'm at today. See, look where I'm at today.
And there he's back. Okay, I'm
He'll
muting
put you
up.
where you want to.
We're coming your way.
We're coming back here. We got little radio spots where we come in and out. And so, sorry, but they said the poles are in front of our face. Can't do anything about this.
Moody Radio, and it's Dawn and Steve in the morning. That's how you connect with us on Facebook. This morning, Erskin Edivitarte is co-hosting.
Or just Erskin if you don't want to try to hurt yourself.
I know, but it's so much fun to say Edivitarte, so I gotta at least try. Laughing through the ugly cry and finding unstoppable joy is the new book by Dawn Barton. And Dawn is also joining us this morning. Dawn, we're talking about what it means to have unstoppable joy. And let's face it, it's not a super happy place right now. But I think there's a distinguishing factor between happy and joyful. Is there not? Well, when you talk about joy, and we look at what the Lord is doing, is joy an attitude, or is it more to it than just an attitude? Can we start with an attitude?
Well, one of the things that I've observed about you is that you're funny, but it's kind of like the old comedians would say, like when people come up to me and tell me, "Hey, be funny," it's really hard because that can be an act. But you're joyful, like everything about you and the way that you talk and all the different things, your mannerism, your attitude of life is joyful, and that's a big difference there. Even as the short time that I've got a chance to see you and to know you, is that you exude this joyfulness in your life. And then when people get into the book and see the different things that you've gone through, that's instructive for them. I'm really funny. Laugh.
I say so. Oh,
Yeah.
well, girl, funny.
Funny.
Don, you talk about this joy and you talk about how the outlook can be attitudinal for a while, right? And even that statement that depending on how you receive it could be seen as controversial, and that is you fake it till you make it. But there's something sincere behind what you're saying there that we start working that out, right? It's almost like a response to salvation. Sure. No, and you know that strong faith is behind that part of your life. So that's why I wanted you to unpack that a little bit more because it is more than just going through the motions. It it definitely is grounded in faith, and that's something you found even through this journey that it takes great faith and strength of the Lord to go into places of joy even though there's pain.
Mm.
Hmm, wow. It's a good reminder to each of us today to think about how He is in those places that are so hard and difficult, and yet His very presence can bring joy and peace and just that sustenance that we need so that the morning comes and we are still living in Him and with Him. And Don Martin, you have walked that so much. That road has been long, and God's goodness has been equally as strong through the journey. And we want to continue to look at your book. It's Laughing Through the Ugly Cry and Finding That Unstoppable Joy. Don is going to be with us for a couple more moments. You can connect with us on Facebook, Don and Steve in the morning.
That's funny seeing you go on your tiptoes.
Yeah, I keep going up on my
Did I botch
tiptoes.
that for you?
Huh?
Did I totally botch that for you guys
No.
on that?
You
No.
did great.
No.
You're doing
Oh my God.
fantastic.
Not
You're
at
a
all.
superstar.
You are a superstar. I just know, like, I know the heart of our listeners, and I can hear somebody that's really struggling with that in their lives. And to hear you be able to come back and address it a little bit more is,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah, and that's what I was trying to say. I didn't mean fake, but I really, there were a lot of times I wasn't feeling joyful, and I wasn't even when my faith was strong, and I was faking it a little. But when you start to do the action, sometimes the feelings, they lag behind a little bit. They catch up.
Well,
They do.
John Piper talks about duty and delight, and a lot of times we will get that equation mixed up. When we delight in God, then it enables us to do our duty, and our duty in some moments is not a delightful thing. But if you have joy that is motivating you instead of just happiness, that's what people don't understand. The fruit of the Spirit moves you with joy to do your duty in certain circumstances where you don't feel happy, and that's what you were explaining. But I didn't want to just jump in and be like, okay, yeah,
You could have said that. Where was that?
Here's what she means. That would be extremely arrogant on my part. Here's what the guest actually means by what she wrote in her book.
What she's trying to say, she nobody can articulate, is this.
I love it.
That would have been great.
No, I love it. No, it was
All
perfect.
good.
It's just
All
always good to, like, if something, and I, you can't unpack everything. You just pray that people will get the encouragement God wants them to have through every conversation that we have. So, no, I was just glad for going back. Thank you. I appreciate that. And now we have one more segment.
What you gonna do? What you gonna say? Is it time to run or is it time to stay? Is there anyone or anything that would take all you got to get everything? Your heart's pumping, no stopping, like a tidal wave that keeps coming. You're running and running for something, yeah. You're gonna make it some way, somehow. No one's gonna keep you down when you know what you're supposed to do. Then go do what you gotta do. Some way, somehow. I know you can turn it around when you know what you're supposed to do. Then go do what you gotta do. Yeah. Yeah, yeah. Do what you gotta do. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Do what you gotta do. Tell everyone, everywhere. Go hard or go back from where you came. It's a big deal. This is so real. Can't stop it now. It's such a great thrill. Your heart's pumping, no stopping, like a tidal wave that keeps coming. You're running and running for something, yeah. You're gonna make it some way, somehow. No one's gonna keep you down when you know what you're supposed to do. Then go do what you gotta do. Some way, somehow. I know you can turn it around when you know what you're supposed to do. Then go do what you gotta do. Yeah, yeah, yeah. We can see the other side. Don't give up and don't stop trying. No matter what's in front or what's behind, you're gonna make it some way, somehow. No one's gonna keep you down do.
Coming
Freedom,
back.
freedom hymn on Moody Radio. Yes, Austin French. 18 minutes in front to Dawn Barton, and her book is called Laughing Through the Ugly Cry and Finding Unstoppable Joy. Dawn, you've made it a statement that is very curious. You said joy is a choice. Really now?
You know, you think about it in terms of the fact that our life is a vapor, and we're only going to have so much time here, and then it's going to be gone. What are we doing to invest our life in those days? And you point us to that in this book. And so encourage our listeners today to hear your heart about how we can maximize our life and the time that we have and the opportunities that we have, even when situations and circumstances around us are difficult. Mm, you're on it now.
No, it sounds practical. And I think that we need those practical things in our lives because of all of the esoteric stuff and the stuff that bombards us throughout the day. So someone is listening right now. They're just overwhelmed with grief, Dawn, and the heavy depression, the devastation. There's been a lot that's been going on. Speak to that person, encourage him, encourage her. What's the next step? Sometimes is it sitting still until what?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm curious. In the process of all of this, what are some of the spiritual disciplines that grew out of your life? Because it sounds like, there's a constant list that you keep adding to of gratitude in your life. I know I keep a journal. I know there are others who find ways to make spiritual markers in their life and those encouraging things that will keep them going forward. What in your life are some of the spiritual disciplines that some of the pain and suffering has caused you to develop? Or writing books?
Yeah. Disciplines, they're important. And, for such a time as this, I think with all the things that have changed, if we've never had that in our lives, it'd be a great opportunity to, again, take that self control, another step, right? And sit down and do some of these things that will enrich our lives, that will increase our joy, that will help us as we navigate some of these really difficult times. Because if the Lord gives us another day, it might be another challenging day, and we want to accomplish what he wants for us. Dawn Barton, thank you so much for sharing your joy of the Lord with us. Absolutely. Looking forward to having you back, sis. This has been a joy for us, laughing through the ugly cry, and sometimes it starts right there, and then finding unstoppable joy. It's linked to our Facebook page, Dawn and Steve in the Morning. If I can get us unmuted. Oh, that goes by so fast. Thank you.
You guys had another perfect, profound thing. You could have stepped in and said, huh? Because I was like, I know they're looking for something here, and I don't know if I'm giving it to you.
No, I'm not. I'm not like that. I just want to hear from your heart what you want to say about that.
Yeah, but sometimes I was somebody who wasn't raised with a deep faith, and I was so thrown off by some of the Christian scripture quoting people as I was coming into that beginning to deepen my faith, and it made me feel less than and not enough. And I so desperately want to reach that person.
Right.
I don't want them to think there has to be a perfect discipline or their perfect behavior or anything. Just start talking to God. Just start knowing him and get a little bit closer. There's the dog. Yeah.
Perfect timing.
Up there.
That's why people need to hear that from your heart.
Yeah. No, and it was such a great answer because, like you said, just start. And that's where I think we need to take the next step and just start. Because there are times that either we've been in practice of a spiritual discipline or we've never. But today's a new day. We can today. We can take that walk and talk to him and not be listening to music because we're talking to him. We can put Instagram down and get in the word and start to. So what you said was beautiful.
Oh, good. Thank you.
Yeah.
This was so fun.
Thank you.
This was great.
Appreciate you a bunch. And you got to come in town.
I'd love to. Just call me get in touch anytime.
Okay.
You have my cell, save it.
Okay,
anytime
perfect.
You want me to hop on over, it's an easy flight for me. I have friends that stay free. Seriously, call me anytime.
Okay, we'll do it. All right, honey. Thank you.
You guys.
Yeah.
All right.
See ya.
Have a great day.
Bye.
See, I've never done that before.
Isn't that fun?
I've never had a guest on when I'm on co-hosting the Moody Radio Show. So talk to our people, Don. I want to know.
Now wait a minute. We did a show one day. What was I on with you one day?
No, we did a show, but I'm saying I've never been on Moody Radio with another guest. I've usually been the guest on Moody Radio.
Right.
So talk to the people and tell them what's up. Tell them hello. Tell them what we do behind the scenes here.
Hey, so so this is what we do. We time things out. We watch things. We try to have meaningful conversations all within about 6 minutes. So it's an interesting dynamic when you are watching the clock, but listening to your guest and praying all the while that the Lord is using that he's given us right here.
6 minute slots to reach people, share the gospel and all that. So what do we do now?
So now we are going to listen to this song by Erskin. It's called Merry Go Round. And then
I'm
dance? Going to come
in.
in.
Dance.
You can. Good, see?
Yeah, here we go.
That's why I'm on.
That's what's on the radio right now. Merry Go Round.
And then I'm going to take about 30 seconds and the show's over. I know. Do it.
Merry-go-round effect there. What's going on there?
Is that what that is?
Yeah. So I'm going to make everybody uncomfortable here.
Oh.
Merry-go-round. Merry-go-round. Oh. Exactly. Yeah, so in the 30 seconds we have left, I'm going to thank you for co-hosting. And then we're going to the news and we're done. All right, I get no more words. I say you're welcome.
Yeah, pretty much.
All right, that's good.
Pretty much.
Watch this, guys. This is gonna be perfection, and you're welcome. Thanks for having me on. lines.
That's okay. I like it.
That's my lines.
That is a good line. Oh, it's so funny how things change. Okay. More headlines. More headlines of people having a hard time. Goodness. Is
So
it lunchtime yet?
like natural headline, like national headlines or personal?
Personal. I haven't gone to national in the last hour, so.
There could have been something.
Isn't that though kind of crazy how fast time goes? Like, didn't you just get here when we started the show like 3 minutes ago?
Well, I think it goes a little bit faster for us because we're living in time and space, having several different conversations.
Yes.
Some that we began before, some that we're having now, some that are on air, some that are off air.
Right.
So it's a confluence of all those different things, and then all these ideas that keep popping. It's like, oh, and so it feels like it keeps moving forward. It's like, oh, we can get a minute that I can tell you the Nelson Mandela story.
Right.
We can get a minute, we can do. So it's like everything is moving.
Tell me about camp. Tell me about street evangelism. Tell me about.
Oh, the song's still going. They're still playing merry-go-round. And so that was just a pause. So we're going to come back on here, and she's going to thank me for coming on the show. I'm going to say, thank you so much for having me on the show. Can't wait to come back.
Yes, because you need to meet Steve Hiller.
Yes, can't wait to come back. Steve is here, and the three of us will frolic as much as you guys frolic on air.
What?
I said the three of us will frolic. Is that a word you use?
Moody Radio with Erskin and Vitarte at 6 minutes in front of the hour. Erskin also co-hosting the show this morning, and you have done a masterful job. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, so we didn't run you off. You'll come back. You'll do this again.
I would love to.
That'll be great. Steve Hiller will be in-house as of tomorrow.
And the three of us will frolic.
I see daisies in that statement. Like I see this big field of daisies, and I have to learn to or relearn to skip.
It'll be something like that.
Yes, I need a basket.
We'll have a lot of fun. Let's just say the three of us will have a lot of fun. Our personalities on air. You won't want to miss that.
That'll be a good day. It's been a good day, and I'm so grateful. And you can connect with us on Facebook, Dawn and Steve in the morning. That's it.
There we go.
Isn't that crazy?
That's what live radio is like.
That's
It's out there somewhere for people. I had somebody come on here and say, this makes me happy. See, we were bringing joy into people's lives. So anyway, that was an installment of At Moody Radio, the Erskin Music Show. Thank you guys for tuning in today. If you tune in to Moody Radio for the last few hours, and you get a chance to hear what we were talking about on air with evangelism, and then also talking through some of the topics of the day, our response to the topics of the day, and then we had our guest on today. So that's what goes on here at Moody Radio. Thank you for tuning in this special edition of the Erskin Music Show. You got some behind-the-scenes coverage. Get a chance to see kind of what goes on here in the actual radio studio. And we'll be back with you guys this weekend for the Way Forward broadcast. We're going to be talking about cultural Marxism. So you definitely won't want to miss that, as we have a lot of examples of that in our day and time. And then obviously the biblical and Christian response to that and how we move forward. So, Erskin Music Show. Love you guys. At Moody Radio. You want to say any words before we go out?
Bye. Thanks for joining us.
All right. See, that was your words.
Your face is right there.
That was your words.
Yeah. And this is not your face.
So there we go.